Hey guys, Jim here from Creative Mobile Workshops. Wanted to make a video today explaining the overview of my solar system. We're contractors, as I mentioned before, and we have a contract trailer. As you can see, we build these for customers. We also do remodeling, but that's a whole nother story. So today I just wanted to give you an overview of my solar system. And with that said, I also want to acknowledge Nate Yarball of Explorer's Life. I'm going to give you an overview, but if you want piece by piece, individual technical data specifics about the components that I used, I got that from Nate. I want to plug him because he's really awesome when it comes to showing you how to put a system together. I followed him for about 3 months and end up purchasing my first schematic from him. Made some adjustments, but schematic is pretty much the same as when I got it from him. Which helped me do my solar system. So, hey, Nate, if you're out there and listening, much appreciated. So with that said, I'm going to go right into a quick overview of mine. Okay, so here's my power box. There's a few components in here. Let's go with the main component first. The first component here is the Victron Energy Multi-Plus Compact 2000. What this basically is doing is it is giving you a brain to run everything. My AC power that's coming through my watchdog from shore power is connected to this unit first. Out of this unit, that line comes up and goes into my WFCO AC/DC box explained in my video before. What also goes into this box is my solar power. Now, the solar power comes down, has to go into a solar charger because you have to charge batteries at a rate of 12 volt. And since the solar panels are giving us much more than that voltage so that we can charge our batteries quickly, you go through this to regulate that power. With that said, also what happens is that your battery power, which is these two lines here, that's coming from my batteries going into a distribution box. So AC comes into this box, your multi-plus box. Your DC and your solar comes into this distribution box. And this distribution box then takes the solar power, the battery power, puts it through your distribution, sends it to this, and now this turns around and gives you a couple of things. Number one, it gives you live electric without an inverter. It is the inverter. It charges your batteries through AC and your solar panels. And it also converts your DC power to AC in conjunction with being plugged in. That's a little complex right this moment. I hopefully give you another video that explains that a little bit more in detail. But the fact of the matter is, this is the brains of the whole situation. Victron makes great products. Again, Nate suggested all these parts and pieces, but I love them because they're clean, they're neat. In this box, which I'll take off in a little more detailed video after this, is your fuses for each one of the power coming into this box before it goes down to here. Now, another important part of the system is a battery cutoff here. Now, this is really designed so that you can just literally cut off your system to work on it so that you don't electrocute or shock yourself. If I turn this to the off position, you can see I now have no lights in here. You got a little dark. My trailer is in a shop right now, so the sun is outside, so I'm not getting any solar power. But I would turn off my solar controller, which I'll show you in a second. So let's turn this back on. But that cuts off your power. With that said, another important part is what they call a digital shunt. Now, this is on the negative side of the batteries. This comes down, goes in, and goes to the negative side of the batteries, and comes in, connects to the negative side of the distribution. But before it connects to there, it actually goes through what they call a digital shunt. Now, this is basically a digital monitor on my phone so that I can see what's going on with this connection and with distribution, which I'll show you in another detailed video. You always want one of these. The power line that comes in from my batteries, and I have 3 batteries, it's all the way down here. I'm going to not move my camera at the moment, but there's a 300 amp fuse right here that comes off my positive part of the battery and then up into my cutoff. So with all that said, you also have what is considered a solar cutoff. I'm going to bring this down here now. The top of this solar cutoff and fuses. Here's where my solar comes in from upstairs on my trailer. Upstairs on the roof of my trailer. I have 600 watts up there. This is the battery. This is the cutoff, so I can shut off the power coming from them if I need to work on my system. The power that's underneath here, that's coming all the way around, it comes up, if you can see, and it goes straight into your solar charger. When it comes out of the solar charger, it comes back up and goes into the distribution box, which then sends that power to your converter or your multiplus, and that multiplus then regulates the power itself to go to the batteries. So I'm going to come down here so you can see that 300 watt amp fuse I have down there, because I have 3 batteries of 300 amp total, so that's why that is the way it is, and hopefully this camera is good. All right, so with all that said, we also have a couple of dongles. Now this dongle is a Bluetooth dongle, so it shows me what's going on with my solar charger. As you can see, it's plugged into my solar charger, so on my phone I can see the wattage I'm getting, how much charge it took from the sun. It's actually really important. Without having dongles, you really don't know what your system's doing. It's actually an important part. They are an added cost, but it's super important. The same thing with the digital shunt, showing me what's going on with this system. There is also another one underneath where my batteries are, which I'll show you in a minute, and that basically is connected to my Multiplus 2000, so that it tells me what this is doing. But the whole point of having solar, and the why I put solar in, is because we're remodeling contractors by trade, and I go to a job and I don't have electric, right? So give me 1 second, and I'm gonna take this over here real quick just to show you where the batteries are. I have 3 AGM batteries connected in series, okay, and there's actually a little dongle right up in there connected in that shows me what's going on with those. With that said, the best part about having solar power and that kind of system is, number one, I don't have to be plugged in to use all my tools, which we've done constantly, and I don't need an inverter. I literally never have to plug my trailer in to charge the batteries. When it's outside, the sun will charge my batteries with 600 watts of solar on the roof. And I've probably only brought my batteries down to about 70%. And it charged those batteries within a half an hour. So when the sun's out for a couple of days, I think the lowest I ever got my batteries down to 73, using it for 2 days straight with no sun. But for the contractors out there, and for guys who are debating whether they should do this, is probably the best thing I ever did. Knowing that I don't have to worry about plugging it in, and usually the sun's not out for a week at a time, and if it is, I plug it in, and then it'll charge. But I can use anything I want. I can charge my batteries. I'm presently making some modifications to my trailer, which will also be another video, to creating a full battery charging system, even though right now I just plug the chargers in and I charge them. But I don't have to charge my trailer because the sun does it for me. So if you really want to talk about cost, it's probably the best way to have a mobile 100% standalone contractor's trailer. I have a new video coming soon. I have another customer that we're going to be doing a solar charging station, where basically the solar is going to be charging his batteries, and his battery is going to be charging his batteries. So he's a contractor, so we're just creating a solar powered charging system, basically, with no electrical plug-in or whatnot. So that'll be an exciting video. We're going to do that and post that up online so you guys can watch us do that. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of an idea. I'm going to go into a little more details on my next video, but the charging system that the solar does literally allows you to do whatever you want. It's almost like its own generator, especially if it's sitting in the sun. That brain that I told you about before basically is going to take 30 amps from plug-in. All right, it's going to take power from my solar and power from my batteries. So when I want more than 30 amps, that system will pull power from the solar panels, and it will also pull power from my batteries to give me up to 40 amps. because it knows how to regulate the power that I'm asking it for. It is just an awesome system. If I had to suggest it to anybody, I would say, heck yeah, do it. I can't say anything better about it, but that I have a totally mobile workshop, and I don't need to be plugged in to work it. So that's how the solar works. Again, you want to leave me a comment, email me if you have any other questions. Feel free to say whatever you want, ask whatever you want, and I'll answer it the best I can. We are creativemobileworkshops.com, which is not done yet, but I'm working on it. I'm almost there. Should be a day or two, and I should have that up. You can see a lot of pictures there. I'm going to send some PDF files up there of all the equipment that I've used, the cost, the links, and everything else. So if you really need to do this yourself, then hopefully you'll have all the parts and pieces that you'll need. Again, want to say thanks to Nate over there at Explorers Life for all he did for me, and for all you guys out there. Hopefully this gave you a quick overview of what it does. Come back for my next video, hit the subscribe button, and now I'm going to open up some of these boxes and really show you the details. Other than that, Ben, have a great day.